The Detroit Red Wings are in the middle of a rebuild, but they don't want to bottom out any further than they did in 2017-18. They want to compete, sell tickets, draw TV viewers. They don't want to be so bad that fans lose interest. That's why they're aiming to sign some free agents on July 1st and not just fill out their roster with prospects. The front office met this week for 4 days of pro scouting meetings and identified some free agents to pursue: a couple of goal-scoring forwards, a defenseman and a backup goaltender. Left wing Ilya Kovalchuk is at the top of their wish list. They'd be willing to give him a 2-year contract at a high salary, a source said. They believe he's capable of scoring 25 to 30 goals. Kovalchuk, 35, is returning to the NHL after playing in Russia for 5 years. He has stated a desire to play for a Stanley Cup contending team, so it's unlikely he'd be interested in Detroit. The Red Wings are interested in bringing back Thomas Vanek, 34, on a 1-year deal. They would trade him at the deadline for a draft pick if they're out of the playoff race. Vanek was a good fit in Detroit in 2016-17, goals, 38 points in 48 games, before being dealt to Florida at the deadline for a third-round pick. He had 24 goals and 56 points in 80 games last between Vancouver and Columbus. The Red Wings want to re-sign defenseman Mike Green, offering him a 1-year deal at $6 million, his salary the past 3 or 2 years at $5 million per year. Green turns 33 in October but was the team's lone consistent offensive threat on the blue line. It's a particularly weak free agent market for defensemen. The Red Wings are eyeing 2 32-year-old goalies, Carter Hutton of St. Louis and Anton Khudobin of Boston. Hutton, their first choice, went the 3rd of July 17 with a 2.09 goals against average and .931 save percentage. Khudobin went the 7th of June 16 with a 2.56 GAA and .913 save percentage. Howard not on trading block despite reports that the Red Wings are looking to trade goalie Jimmy Howard, a source said there is no chance of that happening. It made little sense since they would then need to acquire 2 goalies for their NHL roster. Howard is entering the final year of his contract at a $5.29 million cap hit and $4.25 million salary. If he plays well, the Red Wings will offer him a short-term extension. FRK might not be resigned. The Red Wings are debating whether to re-sign right-wing Martin FRK, a restricted free agent, and many in the organization would rather have someone else take his roster spot. FRK has one of the hardest shots in the league, but lacks accuracy. He produced 11 goals and 14 assists in 68 games as a rookie, but struggled late with 1 goal and 4 assists in his final 23 games. They could sign him to a 1-year deal and waive him after training camp if someone else takes his job. Bylsma might join coaching staff. Dan Bylsma, who won the Stanley Cup as Pittsburgh's head coach in 2009, is contemplating an offer to join the Red Wings as an assistant coach. Bylsma, a native of Grand Haven, was fired last year after 2 years as the Buffalo Sabres head coach. He has 2 years remaining on his Sabres contract, so the Red Wings might need to compensate Buffalo to get to him. Detroit parted ways with assistant coach John Torchetti last month. RFA update: the Red Wings don't appear close to signing any of their restricted free agents Dylan Larkin, Anthony Mantha, Andreas Athanasiou, Tyler Bertuzzi, but there is no rush. Of the group, Larkin is the only one who might sign long-term. The club would be willing to go up to 5 years. The others are certain to get bridge deals, no longer than 3 years. Athanasiou is the only one of the 4 who is arbitration eligible, which should help get a deal done by no later than early August.